Okay, there we go. Hey, Shalom Akim. We're welcome to another live lesson. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakakwadash.
And it's Bishop Taz, Bishop Ainat, and we got a special guest here today, Apostle Aran Lab.
Shalom.
And we got the brother Kanak.
Shalom, shalom.
And basically the spirit got on this brother. Topic came up, the importance of prophecy. So basically, we're gonna start from right there. I'm gonna read one scripture to start it off, and Apostle Aran Lab has the floor. Him and the brother Kanak. Second Esdras, we're gonna read Second Esdras 15:1.
Oh yeah.
And let me pull this up right here a little bit.
Somebody get
I could blow this up a little. I'm gonna blow it up a little bit more.
Ecclesiasticus 39.
I got Isaiah 33 and 6 over there. I don't know if you want to read that before you pull that up.
Ecclesiasticus 39. I think it is.
You got Isaiah.
Yep.
So you gotta read that.
Isaiah 33 and 6. In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
That's it. You know, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. And the fear of the Lord is his treasure, because as you see today, a lot of individuals are selling out. A lot of individuals are bugging out, teaching all kind of type of crazy doctrines.
Wayward doctrines.
Wayward doctrines, talking about their King David, you know, all kind of crazy shit, because there's no stability in the truth with them, you know, because they're not really in the truth, you know. This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is supposed to stabilize you when you build correctly from the foundation up, and the foundation is Yahushai.
That's right.
If you don't have Yahushai as a foundation, you know, you're not going to go anywhere. Yahushai, it says that he is the spirit, the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy.
That's right.
You know, so prophecy is very important, you know, and this is why the lesson is titled The Importance of Prophecy, because prophecy is what dictates what times we're living in, you know, and this is why what did the disciples ask the Lord, you know, what shall be the sign of that coming of the end of the world?
That's right.
You know, and
He
he gave
gave
him
the signs.
Yeah, you got it.
No, he gave him the signs. He told him wars and rumors of wars.
That's right.
They shall deliver you up to councils.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. You know, and then pretty much that's the, you know, so the major signs in the end of the world would be what? These nations coming against each other, famines, you know, pestilence, you know, the uproar, pretty much uproars of the people. You know, and the main important one to watch for would be the MOTB.
Yep, that's the ultimate.
You know, and that's, you know, there's never been a time in history that you had a technology so advanced as you have today to be able to implement this technology with this particular device
Throughout the world on a worldwide scale. It says that no man will be able to buy or sell save he which had the mark. So that's not talking about no embargo for you dumbasses out there, for dummies. It ain't talking about no embargo. Or some of you jackasses out there talking, how the hell King Solomon had the mark of the beast? According to goddamn General Gehenna. King Solomon had the mark of the beast, and the mark of the beast wasn't even around then.
Because he liked white women.
And having sex with white women. How is that the mark of the beast? Right. You niggas are out of your goddamn mind, man.
That's it. You know, and then you think then you have these so-called Christians that say that Nero Caesar was because his name adds up to 666. So he's supposed to be the anti-Messiah, and that's supposed to be the beast or the mark, whatever, however the hell they put it, the mark of the
I did see that.
But the MOTB wasn't written about until like 30 years in the future. So how in the hell could he be the fulfillment of that when that prophecy wasn't even written yet?
Right.
Yep.
The Lord said, before these things come to pass, I tell you of them. It wasn't even said. You know? I mean, the beast was around at the time, but the mark was not.
Nope.
It wasn't even spoken of yet. So y'all got it.
It was my boy William Cooper. When he spoke about the mark of the beast, he said, listen, either these guys are following the Bible to the T, or they knew something before we did, because he said they're basically lining up everything according to prophecy. Yeah, exactly. Even he knew that, because he said with that infrastructure and this technology where they have this digital implant, the RFID chip, he said now they can implement that mark of the beast. And we know every one of them have a barcode that equivalents to 666. Yeah. That's where that 666 come from.
Yeah. And then it's not a coincidence that all of the prophecies are lining up perfectly the way the Lord said they would. You know, you got the armies massing over, you know, in the so-called Middle East.
That's right.
Over there, you know, which sets up for Armageddon or the Valley of Jehoshaphat, you know, which is the gathering of the troops. And this the Lord mustering the host of the battle because we're in that time. You know, and the Lord said prior to any, pretty much prior to any empire going down, he would send the prophets out there to prophesy the downfall of these different, you know, empires.
Okay.
And we're at the very end.
Like he told the prophet Jeremiah in Jeremiah the 1st chapter, he said, "I give you power to
Yep.
the pull,
Root up,
the
yeah.
root out, and then the plant."
Yeah.
So right now, Esau, through the Spirit of the Lord, the kingdom is being rooted out. All the lies, everything, because Scripture say, what John 8:32, the truth shall set you free.
There you
So that's setting all his devices, all his lies are crumbling, and yet the kingdom of Israel is being planted with the Lord sealing the elect first, which are the lively stones which make up the kingdom of heaven.
That's it. That's it. You know, so this is why it's important to know prophecy and knowing what times we're living in. You know, because the prophets, even going all the way back, when they prophesied, the Lord always revealed to the prophets about Yahushua.
Okay.
You know, because he was, you know, the lamb slain from the foundation of the earth before the earth was even created. So they looked for what time Yahushua would suffer, so that, and they knew that the kingdom would be revealed afterwards. This is why the disciples, which later became apostles, asked the Lord, "Well, thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel."
That's right.
Why? Because they knew that once the Lord came, suffered, the kingdom would come next. But what they didn't understand was there was going to be a period of 2,000 years, you know, roughly like 2,000 years before the Lord would actually come back the second time to gather the elect of the nation of Israel. And that's what the times we're living in right now. So we're living in a great time of prophecy. We're living in the time of the, you know, collection or gathering of the elect of the nation of Israel. You know, we're living in a time where, you know, this world, the signs are evident that this place is going down.
Yeah.
You know, it says it ends in signs and in effects. We're watching the signs and the effects that were written down by the prophets of old. We're actually witnessing it right now, playing out in real time.
Got a quick precept for you.
Okay.
This is 1 Peter 4:7. It says, "But the end of all things is at hand.
Beautiful.
Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're at the end of all things is at hand. And we see it. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. We're at that point. We're at the tipping point of prophecy. The prophecy has been tipping. It just hasn't, you know, it's just at a bottleneck because, you know, the thing that's holding the prophecies from fully exploding on the scene is the MOTB. But as you see, it's gathering steam as each day goes by.
Yep.
The main thing on the news, you know, besides these wars and all of that and the uproars of the people, is the MOTB and this new technology that's emerging through the AI and through all these different channels. Social media.
Yep. And the one in Revelation, the 7th chapter, where it says, "Hurt not the air, nor the water, nor the trees, until the servants of the Lord have been sealed."
Yeah.
The servants is sealed.
Yeah.
That's why everything is coming to the point that it is now. The buildup is there now.
Yeah.
We're at that climactic,
Yeah.
that climactic buildup at the very end. We're
Yeah.
at that point right now.
That's right.
Because the servants basically have been sealed. Now it's time for judgment to come on the wicked of Israel. You gonna get it. The wicked of you, 2/3 of Israel, you gonna get it.
And Yahushua said, Salaki, Yahushua said that, you know, this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached to the four corners of the earth. That's you about to say.
Yep.
You know, and the thing about it is Roman Catholicism, Islam, Christianity, all been out there.
Those are the three biggest religions in the world.
Yeah.
Well, Christianity, Roman Catholicism, and Islam.
Yep.
They're the biggest, and they're all throughout the world. How come the end hasn't come yet?
Right.
Sure.
And then how come everybody right now is all these different platforms, social media, these different talking heads out there are all focusing and talking about the Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, yep.
You know, the Lord is making this thing explode on the scene like that.
Yep.
You
There's the
know?
light bearers. What Yahweh Shai said, if a candle be lit, I can't be hid, but be put on the top of a hill so all men can see.
Yeah, there you go.
So through the Spirit of the Lord, that's why through the apostles on down, through on the street corners, and the Spirit got us on the highway of the internet,
Yeah.
The World Wide Web.
World Wide Web, so nobody has no excuse.
Yeah. And that's the reason why the Spirit had the elder Apostle Har, beginning with him, push so heavy for brothers to push the word. And it's like as each day and each week and each month went by from the moment we got on YouTube, it was a push to, you know, to push more, and push more. And when you push more, push more. And then when you push more, 3 videos a week, a video a day, multiple videos a day if the Spirit is on you. It's a push, push, push. No, because the end is evident. The Lord is causing the end and the kingdom of heaven to come to existence by the constant teaching and the bringing out of the prophecy through the prophets. You know?
Yeah, I got Ecclesiastes 39:1.
Beautiful.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies.
There you go. Occupied in prophecies. Why? Because prophecy is what dictates what times we're living in. You know, and this is what, you know, if you're not talking about the prophecies, then you're not really saying anything. Prophecy is what dictates what times we're living in. All of these different religions, you know, Buddhism, Hinduism, you know, and the ones we've mentioned before, the Black conscious, you know, community, all of these different individuals that have all these different talking points and all this so-called wisdom and back and forth debates, no one's talking about prophecy.
Nope.
Why we're in the condition that we're in today and what's to come. What's the outcome? Are you just going to be, you know, going back and forth to your old and gray and the cane and then drop dead and then the next generation comes and then they're arguing and debating the same shit that you've been debating for the last, you know, 100, 200, 300, 400 years?
Well, even the Christian church was their biblical base, right?
Yep.
They don't speak about prophecy.
No.
They just say Jesus loves, and they close the book and dance and sing.
Yeah. The only ones that really talk about anything concerning prophecy are the scholars.
Yeah.
The ones that are tapped in. And even them so-called apologists are not talking about prophecy. Because they don't know prophecy.
No, they'll try to mimic it, but it's the format of the Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah.
So they're trying to mimic the spirit of the Lord, but you're a little too late.
That's it. You know, they're talking, you know, they're bringing out points of as far as, you know, trying to prove that the Gentiles can be saved, that the Most High Yahweh Shai and the Holy Spirit are one, because these are strongholds of the Roman Catholic Church that has been pushed out there, that they're defending from a white supremacist point of view. You know, and pretty much it has nothing to do with prophecy. It has nothing to do with the Bible, because the Trinity is not biblical.
No,
Nope, it's not biblical.
and you know what? If you listen to most of these Christian or these churches or whatever, they're looking for bomb for Babylon. Maybe we can all vote for the next president or change this policy or that policy. It could be saved. With the scripture, the prophecy said, there's no bomb for this whore. Babylon has been a golden cup, but the Lord's about to smoke her.
Yeah.
That's
It says no bomb. If there's any bomb, she would be healed. But as the Lord said, O daughter of Babylon, which art to be destroyed. That's the prophecy.
Yeah. And says, happy shall it be. You know, and pretty much, you know, the Lord said, when this place is destroyed, and while it's going down, the prophets, the apostles, the true, you know, men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the elect, would be happy.
Yep.
Would be rejoicing.
They're gonna rejoice.
You know, not praying for this place to continue on, because this place is wicked. And through America, Babylon the Great, the whole world has been corrupted.
That's right.
You know, they claim to be a God-fearing nation, but what they're pushing out there is a debaucherous lifestyle.
That's right.
That's right.
Ripping people off, destroying people, you know, G to the other side in people, you know, PDF files and, you know, the selling of O to the gens, you know, the O to the R gens.
Turning their alphabets.
Right.
Yeah.
That straight up alternative alphabet lifestyle.
Yep.
Yeah.
They push.
You got something they're pushing called if you talk about pedophiles on YouTube, like I said it, if you talk about them on YouTube, they want to shadow ban your channel, but people can call themselves minor attracted persons, and that's okay.
Euphemisms.
Yes.
Yeah, that's foul.
They done corrupted the goddamn. They done corrupted the rainbow. They done corrupted the alphabet.
The rainbow ain't got nothing to do with two men running up on each other, or two women playing the scissor game with each other's muffins. Two women playing muffin top, or two guys playing horsey with each other. The rainbow ain't got nothing to do with that. The rainbow goes back to the covenant that the Most High made with Noah, that he wouldn't destroy the world with water again, because this time it's going to be with fire.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a reason why all of these different superpowers in the world have what? Nuclear capability. They have the ability to what? Split the atom. Which causes that what? That fire. America is not the only place that has it. Russia has it. America and Russia aren't the only two that carry that weight.
Yes, sir.
North Korea got it. China has it.
Yeah.
Iran has it.
Pakistan.
Pakistan, they have it.
Yeah. India.
India, they have it.
Everybody got one. They have to take no more shit from America.
Yeah, everybody got it. So, what is the purpose of everybody having that? And why does the scripture speak about the lake of fire? Because America is the place that's going to be lit up like a lake of fire, and Israel is going to be lit up because the Lord's land is totally defiled with those with the Ewish, that's over there. Those pink people that wear them little small hats on their head,
Pink brutes.
running around talking about, yes, come to Israel, be with friends.
Yep.
The Most High is going to smoke that land. He has to, because the land is defiled.
Yes.
Tel Aviv is known as the Pink City.
Yep.
What else? They guess they're safe haven for every pedophile.
It's a safe haven for any goddamn pedophile freak.
No extradition. No extradition.
No extradition for them.
Yep.
A bunch of freaks. Yeah.
Isaiah 24:5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof,
There you go.
because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
There you go. So pretty much it's defiled. Now it's not just talking about the inhabitants of the earth in general. It's talking about the landlords that are supposed to be governing, because the scriptures say that, when you have a righteous king and righteous rulers, that's the benefit of that kingdom. I'm just merely paraphrasing. As the ruler of the people are, so are the subjects.
That's right.
Because they're going to follow your example.
Yeah.
That's
Whether
right.
you do that or not, if you push out the idea that it's okay to do it, you're pushing out freakism. Because back when we were growing up, 70s, 80s, 90s, you had that lifestyle going on.
But they was in the closet.
And it was frowned upon.
Yeah.
Now they push it. They what they call what you said, the thing with Jordan Maxwell with the cap and gown, indoctrinating.
Yeah.
Indoctrination.
Yep.
When you graduate.
They've indoctrinated this whole younger generation.
Yeah.
They've been indoctrinated with this LGBTQ
XYZ.
XYZ plus agenda. They've been indoctrinated with it. So to them, it's just normal.
Yeah.
What does it equal? DEATH.
That's And that's scripture. The scripture said that receiving themselves the judgment which is meat or something along that line. So pretty much this is why there's so much madness going on in the world. So here it is. The elder was just saying, the elder bishop was saying, the majority, these young generation, the majority of them are effed up. The majority of them are either moles, bisexuals, trisexuals, all kind of crazy shit. They'll do and pop anything that they want. There's no limitation there, because there was no shame put on it. And when you bring out the fact through the scriptures that that's wrong, you shame it. It's like it's shunned to correct people in this society. It's shunned. It's looked down upon. You look like the bad guy when you, like the scripture say, they're making man an offender for a word.
Yep.
So when you speak up, they make you look like the bad guy.
They hate of him, the rebuke of vindicate.
Right.
There you go.
So basically the agenda that's being pushed, it's not the Lord's agenda. It's basically the agenda of the wicked elite.
Yep.
Which goes back to, I'm gonna give you a name for it. Aleister Crowley, which is called "Do as Thou Wilt."
Yep.
That's what's being pushed. Do as thou wilt.
Mm-hmm.
And you basically you look at yourself as if you're a god. So do as thou wilt.
Well, that's why birthdays are celebrated so much in America, which that's a high level form of Satanism, worshiping yourself.
Yep. Self-exaltation. Yep.
That's pride.
Yep.
I'll read verse
Heady.
6.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Verse 6. Therefore has the curse devoured the earth.
Yep, and the earth has been under a curse.
Yes.
The earth is under a heavy curse. We were talking about it earlier. See, the earth is under this devil is cursed right now. The earth doesn't have its strength or doesn't yield the nutrients that it once yielded.
Right.
In the time of Moses, it took 2 strong men to carry a cluster of grapes. Now you can pick up a cluster of grapes with your hand like this. A woman can pick it up and she can feed them to you.
A baby.
Right? A baby can pick it up. But back then it took 2 strong men with a stick.
Yeah.
Like you carry a piece of a side of a deer
Yep.
On a stick, 2 men are walking with the deer
Yep.
tied to the stick in the middle, walking. You're gonna go roast that deer. That's how you carry grapes back in the ancient world. So imagine how cantaloupes and how watermelons, how big they were back then. Just imagine that. So the earth is not yielding its strength like it used to. Nothing is yielding the strength like the earth is under a curse. We're less of stature than we were eons ago. The animals are less of stature.
Yep.
Elephants, when the scriptures speak about, there was war elephants where
Yeah.
they had a tower on the elephant's back,
Yep.
and 40 strong men was being a tower on top of an elephant's back. That was used for siege warfare.
Yeah.
If you've seen the movie 300, you've seen an example
Yeah.
of them ancient elephants, because they showed them in 300, even though it was CGI. It was a CGI version, but that's what ancient elephants look like.
What they call them? Woolly
Mastodons.
Or mastodon?
Woolly mammoths or mastodons.
Mhm.
Big ass tusks.
Yep.
40 strong men on top of their back with a
Strong
tower.
man. Yeah,
Come on now. Even the animals are under a curse.
With the Indian, they said the Indian was the one that guided the elephant. He's the one that was steering the elephant.
strong. Yeah, but you know what? That ain't going back to the grapes of King David.
Mhm.
The King David wine had an illustration on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember that two men carrying
carrying-
a cluster of grapes.
Right.
Yeah, if you type that in,
Yeah.
you want to go to images.
You go to images, you can still pull that up, showing that they know, but they ain't gonna tell you that. We was talking about that earlier. Spirit had it where the leaders or the landlords of this present world, they ain't gonna tell you that this world is nutrient deficient.
Yeah.
That's where all diseases come from.
Yep.
Some type of deficiency.
Nutrient
Yeah.
deficiency.
Your food is the earth. Speaking about the earth is defiled, you have a thing called the earth Sabbath. So therefore, the soil and everything kept its nutrients.
Yeah.
You didn't defile it also with blood. Everywhere this man went, he conquered with blood. It said defiles the land.
Oh yeah. Yep. And that nutrient deficiency leads to degeneracy.
Good.
You know, the
Yep.
degeneration of cells, which causes the body to break down, certain parts of the body not to function properly, which makes other parts of the body work a lot harder.
Yep.
You know, and eventually that part of the body that works harder eventually breaks down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something's gonna go. Something's gonna go. You even have something called terminator seeds,
Yeah.
where you can only plant for one season. A seed, when you plant the seed and you grow, you eat the fruit that comes out of it, and the seeds that are left over, you plant those seeds to regrow it.
Yep.
So you can't even do that. You got to go back and buy seeds again
Yep.
to plant, because you can only plant one time. So everything is cursed.
Yeah.
So
And they do that. So like they do that because they don't want people to be self-sufficient.
Exactly.
right.
Because people would plant, they'll go buy the seeds, right? Plant it, and then once this stuff grow, they'll keep using the same plant or the same seeds.
Over and
Over
over,
and
again,
over.
as you should.
Yeah, which you don't have
That's
to.
what it's meant for.
Where they can't capitalize. Remember, this man is the king of capitalism. As the scripture said, the root of all evil is the
Yeah.
love of money.
That's it.
And that's his thing, them shekels.
Yeah.
Shekel, yeah.
And by him doing that, he's now able to corral you into this MOTB system,
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
because we were just watching what was it called, Running Man.
Yep.
You have the food riots.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have food riots if people were self-sustained, if they had
That's it.
farms, if they had livestock. There would be no need for food riots. Everybody would be growing their own food.
Yeah.
So he'll do a Terminator suit, so you have to come to him now. Now he can control you. Now he can use that to say, hey, now you need to put this inside you.
Yeah. That's
it.
what Henry Kissinger had a quote. He said, you control the oil, you control the people. You control the food, you control the world.
That's it.
Yep.
Because it's pretty much they're using food as a weapon.
I got something here. 2nd Ezra 14 and 10. Shalom to those of you that are in the chat. 2nd Ezra 14 and 10. For the world hath lost his youth, and the times begin to wax old. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of the 10th part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that goes back to the time of Ezra.
Yep.
By the time Ezra was on the scene, it was about 9,500 years since the beginning of creation. So there was another 400 some odd years before Yahushua came on the scene,
Yep.
which made the 10th part. That's 10,000. So now we're at the end, which is 12,000.
Going into the three.
Yeah, to the third day.
Yep,
the third day we
day.
shall live in the sight.
Ooh.
So this is what this
Prophecy.
the point we're at. And never ever in history has there ever been a time where the technology has been so advanced as now to be able to have this technology like it is.
That's heavy. You know, the Spirit had me look up earlier yesterday or today. The when was radio invented? Radio, sound waves. That didn't happen till the late 1800s.
There you go.
And then look how it's prospered all that time.
Yeah.
You know,
Industrial age.
industrial. Yep. They said one guy made it of one sound going from across, and then one sees. Then they finally got it with voice.
Yeah.
And then look how technology has grown. According to Daniel's 12 tribes, that knowledge shall increase.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was what you're saying right there. That was done actually. It was Nikola Tesla. They give Marconi the credit for it, but it was actually Nikola. Now they're giving Nikola Tesla the proper credit that he deserves, because it was actually him that developed the ability to transfer sound over, over miles.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they extended, but then they had the other. Everybody claimed with fame was a couple other inventors during the early 1800s, where it first came, and say how in the earliest radio. But this was before the turn of the century.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
prior to that, I spread and look up. They had the best technology that they had was a boat called the Ironclad. That was like an armored boat. And then after that, after the invention of the car, the plane, and they just weaponized everything in fucking decades, not centuries, but decades.
Yep.
You know how long it would take to get a message from so-called America back to so-called Europe in those times,
Go by what?
and now because there was no internet back then.
No,
There were no radios, there were no telephones.
Nope.
They
You
go on
know?
boat.
Yeah, they had to go on a ship to go. They didn't have planes, so you had to wait. So now at the press of a button, you could send
Message.
somebody a message within seconds.
Okay.
Just like that.
You could be in the middle of America and send a message over to Japan.
And you can see why they're typing it in real time.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
You got what's that? FaceTime. You can talk to
FaceTime.
somebody.
Face to face, yeah.
Yeah, like if they was actually there.
Yep.
Remember us growing up,
No,
talking about the
it's
60s, 70s, or whatever, we used to look at a TV series called Star Trek.
Yep.
Star Trek, we used to look at where you have phones with no cords.
They had flip phones in Star Trek. That
Yep.
was a flip where the flip came.
They had
Yeah,
Bluetooth. They had night vision or vision.
Yep.
And they had where you could speak from intercom to intercom, face to face on the TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
Now that technology's here.
Right. Well, they get that all from the animals.
Yeah.
They study animals and they take the stuff from the animals and just use it and make a technology out of it.
Because, like the scripture say, consider the ways of the animals.
That's it. I think.
Oh, you got it.
No.
Okay. Yeah, this is Daniel 12:4.
And we got to get that word knowledge, and we got to get the word increase.
Blue letter.
Yep.
Yeah, Daniel. I'm going to make sure I know the blue letter.
Yep.
1 second. Daniel 12:4.
Yep.
It says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end."
Right. So at the time of the end, what would it do? Speak and not lie. And what is it going to speak? The prophecies that the Lord stated before by the mouth of the prophets. Go ahead.
Many shall run to and fro.
Yeah, that's why you're able to go from America across the borders in a matter of hours. You got it?
Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right. Knowledge shall be increased, which the word is daith, which goes back to the Hebrew word yadai. And it says knowledge, perceptions, skill, discernment, understanding, wisdom.
You want me to get that, or you?
Yeah, we got
okay,
it right there.
okay, yeah.
And it pretty much goes into the knowledge. Let's see.
Well, science.
That's it.
That's where they boast themselves in their science and their knowledge of this chemical and that.
Yep.
How to put these things together into these technology. Now they're boasting themselves in artificial knowledge, artificial intelligence, and that's the new wave now.
Unexpectedly.
Good. That is. That's their sorcery. Remember, Elon Musk said AI is like summoning up a demon.
Yeah.
And the word demon really means wise.
Mm-hmm.
Or
That's it.
demon, supernatural intelligence.
Yep.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So pretty much, this technology has allowed them, or this knowledge has allowed them to push from one side of the world to the other. And this is where it says the word increase. We got to get the word increase. Because there's never been a time in history where you may have had people that had thought in the ancient world of flying, you know, because you saw the chariots and stuff. But never did you have this technology like you have today, man-made technology
Good.
that was given to them by the Most High.
Airplanes, helicopters, that's stealth. Now submarines where they're under there watching
Yeah.
stuff that they some stuff they report and other shit under there they won't report.
Yes, that's
That's
right.
why they get the X-Files. How you think they know about Godzilla and all that? They have knowledge of that.
Yeah. And you know, like when you look at a plane, you know how heavy a plane is? Big ass planes to be able to lift off and
Yep.
still be in the air
Glide,
and not
yeah.
just fall out of the air. You know? That's an amazing feat.
Not hit each other because they got like the reverse magnet technology. Like you know how when Mach 2
Yep.
sides that can't go together,
They
that's
repel.
they repel. That's how they use on the airplanes a lot of times so they can't crash.
Yeah, so you see there, it's what? Be or become great, be or become many, be or become much, be or become numerous.
Multiply.
So it multiplied. The technology that they have is increasing exponentially. It just multiplying on top of, you know, just keeps multiplying, you know?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy. At the turn of the century, they still were using candles for light. They're using horses for horsepower.
Yep.
Damn.
Which if I get this right here, this is in Edamon online for technology, for the word technology, right? Which is a compound word. In the word, the first part of that word is techno, which means art, skill, craft, and work, method, system, and art, a system or method of making or doing, craft, and then you have ology, right? Which is like the study of
The study of
Yeah,
the
the
craft.
study,
you know, the study of the craft,
Yeah.
basically. So that's
That's
where that's where his power is at in his technology, his study of the dark arts, and then manifesting that into something that you can actually see and use in these times.
Good. That's Isaiah the 47th chapter. Stand down with the enchantments because the word craft would come from witchcraft.
Yep.
Craft. That's what they study. Everything is, even though it's a TV show that came on Stars years ago called American Gods. And one of the guys in there was called Techno Boy, which technology. They had all the ancient gods and they brought out all the stuff of Caesar, of what's the name for spring?
Vernal equinox.
Yeah, what was her name? What the hell is
You talking about?
where they get Easter from? Esther.
Ishtar.
Ishtar. They brought out all that history. So it was a good series. They brought it right out, but the new demon, the latest demon out of them was Techno Boy, which is technology.
And that's why now when you go on Google, even on these different chat platforms and these AI platforms, they're starting to make it harder for you to get all of this information that was readily available before.
Right.
Good.
You know, they're redirecting your searches
Good.
to some BS. You got fact checkers, you know, but you know you're just supposed to believe the fact checker.
No, the fact checker is actually a fact hider.
Exactly.
That's what it's called. It's called fact hiding.
Yep.
Yeah, knowledge and articles that you could pull up on the regular. You can't find no more. You got to search deep and hard for them.
Hey, remember when Colin Powell came out and said that Russia is going to have a hard time finding individuals because they don't have a sophisticated, system like America does through social security, where you can track people quickly or something like that. And you can't find that.
You can't find that no more, huh?
You know, you can't find it anywhere.
Or even changing definitions of words.
Oh yeah,
Right. Newspeak.
Newspeak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Newspeak.
Newspeak.
that's it. But that's what they do because slowly but surely, the more technology increases, the more dumbed down the people become.
That's right.
Smartphones make stupid people.
They do.
Yeah. And
Because-
then, let's lock it.
Now, I'm gonna say I can remember growing up, especially in the '80s, was the main goal. Get as many girls' phone numbers as you can. You can remember all the phone numbers by heart.
Yep.
By heart. You knew all your friends' number by heart. You knew your mother and them. A lot of times, most people they can't remember nobody's phone number no more.
No.
Yeah.
They don't
You
have
can't
it.
remember your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. They show you how it dumbed you down and you being reliant on it, and that's another prelude of the MOTB because now they're talking about interfacing the phone, your credit card, your ID, everything into that one device.
Yeah.
You don't even have to think no more.
No.
And ultimately integrating that into you. because so you'll merge with machine, and they will so-called promise you, everlasting life, extend your life, and also being super intelligent now. You're tapped into the AI now. The AI, you ask the AI something, it'd be like, give you all type of crazy information. You're like, damn.
Yep.
And they want to put that inside you.
Yeah.
What was that demon, that devil who said the main thing is not hacking computers no more, but now after this new technology, we'll be able to hack humans.
Noah Harari.
You remember? Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that little homo.
Yep. But now they're talking about tapping into people's nervous system, their brains. Remember, the scripture said he's wiser than Daniel. It was an old movie called Flash Gordon, 1980s. You hear Queen singing it, but one of the parts in there, it had the witchcraft and the satanic symbols of those small hats, the hexagram on there. But they had a machine where you could put over somebody's head and run his whole life back. And even in the new, if you look it up on YouTube, that scene, they said this scene was kind of odd, but they researched his whole life.
Yeah, remember, like prior to this technology getting to the point where it's at, you had many intelligent people out there.
God.
This is how they, they came out with so many theories and so many things that came out through the intelligence of certain human beings. But now that they dumbed everybody down, now they want to tap you into the technology that dumbed you down in the first place.
Okay, yep.
To make you wiser.
But then also too, on the other side of that, the knowledge of Esau being the devil and who he is also it has expanded.
Yeah.
He's also being exposed for everything that he's done. All the truth is coming out. So on one part, the knowledge, it was increased in wickedness.
Yep.
But then on the other side, the knowledge was increased in righteousness as well.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. It says the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
That's it.
That's Sirach 9, I think 22 or 23. 1922. There you go. Yep. That's one of my favorite.
Yeah. So everything that the Lord gave this man is really set up to destroy him, really, because he gave him the technology to make everything go faster, knowledge to travel faster, to be able to push the very technology that's going to destroy him. That's why I said no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark. And there's no fucking way that sin is the mark of the beast, when sin has been in the world since the world way back then.
Yep.
Since Adam.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve.
Quick precept. This is
Bring it out.
Matthew 24 and 22.
Beautiful.
And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved.
And now we understand why. Because you have this technology is pretty much the technology. This technology, the greater it gets, the more resources it sucks from the earth, and the more it pollutes the earth.
The more people are sick. This is like the most sick people have ever been.
Ever.
Not only physically sick, but also mentally sick.
Yeah.
Because the love of many shall wax. Because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That word cold is cycles.
That's it.
So people are mentally unstable as they roll out all these technologies that are supposedly supposed to make your life better, when it's actually making your life worse. It's polluting you, because not only by them creating these data centers and all this technology, there's a lot of byproducts, a lot of waste that's put back into the earth, into the water table, and into the food system. The animals eat it. So you actually eat all that, and you become more sick to the point to where the Lord, he just got to come.
Well, think about it. They had prophets of doom, or end time prophets. The History Channel had a group of Edomites dressed in all black trying to break down what's going on at the end of the world. But they brought out some good facts. They say most people are sick. All the what's the tropical or psychotropical drugs that they're using? People are using them, taking them. When you piss and do a number 2 in the bathroom, flush it down to the sewers. The fish are eating that, so people are consuming all those psychotropic drugs.
Right.
That's why it said the fish are depressed, the people are depressed because of how they destroyed basically the ecosystem with their pharmaceutical drugs.
Trash.
See,
Yeah, and you got a lot of even water filtration systems that can't break down pharmaceuticals.
No.
You have fluoride, you have heavy metals, you have all these, bacteria and mold and fungi, all these, but you also have these pharmaceuticals that can't be broken down like that.
You got PFAs too.
Yeah.
You got what they call forever chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That they can't be broken down.
That's why you got fishes and other sea animals up there basically committing suicide, bleaching themselves so they could die. That's why going back to Isaiah 24, it said the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. And they have test panels, studies, they have summits where you have top scientists give them all the pros and cons of every technology, but for them, their own greed, lust, and profit, and ultimately New World Order, they keep pushing everything along. That's why Jeremiah 51:25, the Lord said he's going to destroy them who destroyed the earth.
Yep. Matthew 24 and 22 again. Except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
But the Lord called the elect, aka the remnant, the precious fruit.
Yeah.
That's what makes you precious, is knowledge.
That's it. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that time.
Good.
You know, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. That's right. Gold, the wedge of Ophir.
Yep.
And this truth is becoming more and more precious.
And what the scripture say when they talk about the virgins, they found no guile in their mouth,
Yeah.
no deception, no false doctrines, straight, unfiltered, unadulterated truth.
There you go. So somebody's telling the truth, and a whole lot of
somebody-
somebody.
And somebody mucho mentiroso, cabrón.
Yeah.
You got a whole lot of liars out there, and you got a few men out there that are telling the truth.
That's it.
The scripture has Spanish for somebody saying the whole lie.
That's it.
You know,
Mother
it's
effer.
supposed to be la pura verdad, the old shows that used to come
That's
up,
right. That's right.
which means the truth, the pure truth.
That's it.
I got 2nd Ezra 6 and 28.
Good.
I'll start at 27. It says, "For evil shall be put out,
Mm-hmm.
and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall
Yeah, and
flourish."
how's the evil being put out and deceit quenched? By the truth.
Mhm.
You know, now that the truth is resurfacing, which the truth never went anywhere, it was just hidden in
Yep.
plain sight. But now, because everybody had the Bible for how many ages? You know, but it's always been there,
It's been because it was sealed.
right?
Going back to
Daniel
Daniel
12.
12.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
You know, you got it.
Yep. It says, "As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome,
Mm-hmm.
and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared."
That's it.
And that's what's going on now. The truth, which was hid for so long, is now being declared, and people are bugging out of their mind because they've been taught this Roman Catholic
Dogma.
dogma garbage that they've been taught. Islam is a part of it too. If you're into Islam, you're nothing more than an extension of the Roman Catholic Church.
Okay.
I hope you know that. Islam is just another extension of the Roman Catholic Church. Why do Muslims have the same goddamn rosary beads that the Roman Catholic Church have?
Yep.
Why do you have the Roman Catholic Church got altar boys? Islam deals with a bunch of little boys too, don't they?
Yep, that's their power source.
It's the same system going on.
Yeah, pedophilia. That's their power.
Them virgins that's going to serve you in Islam is little boys. Just like the Roman Catholic priests, they be touching and feeling on them damn little boys, right?
Altar
And popping them.
Yeah, that's-
Altar boys. Islam, you got the same thing.
Crimen solicitationem. How did that go? Solicitationem.
Crimen solicitationes, criminal solicitation.
Yeah.
Which is a gag order that was put out by the Catholic Church on anyone that has knowledge of a child being molested by a priest. It's a
Yeah.
gag order on the priest that did it and the people that know what the priest did to the child and the child itself, the child's family and all that.
And they put the movies out there telling you what's going on because a lot of Jakes don't read books nowadays. But Michael Keaton got a movie called Spotlight. It was going into Boston and how they exposed and sued the Catholic Church. That was part of it.
Yep.
And they put it out there. It's called Spotlight. Watch that movie. It came out probably 10, 15 years ago. Michael Keaton in there. The one who played Batman and Beetlejuice. He stars in it. And they're talking about newspaper or article. I go back and watch it again, but basically they bring out how foul and nasty the Catholic Church is. And when they got charges brought up to them, instead of prosecuting or stopping the priests, they just will move into another
That's it.
location and
Another
they will do this
location.
shit again.
And they'll do it again.
And then move them again.
Yep, that was it on that right.
Oh yeah, read that again, Papa
Okay,
Michelle.
fine, yep. I'll start at 27 again. 2nd Ezra 6 and 27. "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched."
Deceit. Everybody could be saved. The Lord came and loved everybody. That's all deceit. Because when you know the scriptures, it said that Matthew's the first chapter, the Lord's going to die for his people.
Yeah.
You read Acts 5, 30, 31, it said that he died for the remissions of sins of Israel. It's clearly say who he came for, and then he tell you right there in Matthew's 24th chapter again, they came for the elect's sake. Even out of Israel, the remnant, aka the elect, that's the precious fruit in this time, and then all the other Israelites will be brought out in reincarnation to fulfill the prophecy, all Israel shall be saved. But that deceit was pushed out through the Catholic Church, which in the scriptures it says the false prophets would out of his mouth come frogs, which are unclean spirits. And that doctrine is unclean. That's what it means to be profane outside the temple.
God, it says, as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome.
And what's the corruption? Us being in nasty bodies. And eventually the second covenant, the Lord said he's going to put the knowledge, wisdom in us in a new body.
Yep.
For Corinthians, the 15th chapter said, in the twinkle of an eye shall be changed.
Yeah.
That's a new covenant. Because right now we still sin. You still go off. Only thing is saving the aka the elect, the remnant, is that the Lord's having mercy on those chosen individuals.
Yeah.
Not because any of our own works or his, it's for his work and who he had mercy on.
That's right. That's right. And the change starts with the knowledge.
God, with the mind.
There's true knowledge. It said it wasn't modifying ointment that healed them, but your word.
Yep.
So it starts with the word. Yep.
The renewing of your mind.
That's it.
Was that Colossians?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got Yahweh Shai.
No, you got it.
Yeah, you got Yahweh Shai to send out a disciple and said, what? Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers,
God.
raise the dead. Which was what? Through the preaching of the word.
That's right.
What's happening right now. This is how we're being spiritually raised from the dead. A spiritual cleanse as a leper, spiritually being, woken up. It was nothing done physically. There was no archaeological dig that we found out to make us believe that we're Israelite, or there was no documentary that we saw. Oh, I'm an Israelite now. It was through the preaching of the word. It was the Holy Spirit.
The gift.
Yep. What the Lord said was that John 6:63 said, these words I speak to you are spirit and life.
Yeah,
It says, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which has been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
We are the Israelites. Hosea the first chapter. But we'll say we wasn't the sons of the Most High, that we're the sons of the Most High. That's
right.
Whew.
Profound.
Yeah, it is. It is. We was making websites being all the nigga you could be. Israelite, what's that? That was foreign.
Yeah.
That was like speaking Chinese. For an Israelite, that's, they
so much so that like when we used to go out there in the streets teaching, Jacob want to fight you.
Yeah.
Look at you crazy. I ain't no effing you. I ain't no effing Israelite.
Yeah. No, brother, it was and down. Hey, I remember the Spirit had us go up to Springfield, and the first day we went out there, the Spirit had it where it was a Judite and an Ephraimite, and you had a Edomite come talking shit in front of their camp, and we out there, we don't know, we just filling out the zone. Spirit jumped out, he said, "Yo, shut the hell up, say something again, jump on you. Yo, we know who we are. I'm an Ephraimite. My brother right here is Judah." We remember that one of the first times or the second when we posted up in front of there was a spot over there by a Coliseum. We went out there, we spoke in a different spot. Like the second time we went out there and that came out, and they're like, "Yo, we know we are Shalom." Yeah. Israelites. We're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, not like we just read, knowledge shall
increase. Yeah.
And the knowledge of who we are. That has also increased so much so that that's actually dictating the end of times, the prophecy. It's tearing down strongholds. It's making our people consider, like, man, you know what, maybe I am an Israelite. Right. It's making our people consider these things when they're actually seeing these things actually happen.
Yeah. Because there's nobody out there in these religions and these Christianity and all that has spoken about why we as a people are in this condition. Why are we suffering like this? Out of all the people in the world, why us? Why do we find out every city you go to in America and anywhere you go to around the world, why are we the ones suffering like this?
Yeah, and why, when a so-called celebrity says something, that we're Israelites, why is there a campaign to destroy this individual? Yeah. And there's countless examples of certain celebrities, certain entertainers, proclaiming that they're Israelite or we're the Jews or whatever, and then all of a sudden this celebrity is blackballed. This celebrity maybe died or he's crazy. Yeah. So there's so many countless examples. Like, damn, at one point you have to consider, like, man, maybe something to this.
Yeah.
Well, I got something for you right here. This is from a book called The Negroes and the Jews by Lenora Burson, and this was published in 1971. So she says here on page 212, The Negroes' claim to be Jewish is legitimate. We're not Jewish. We're the real Jews, by the way. ISH means wishing to or pertaining to be. We're not wishing to or pertaining to be. We are. But the Negroes' claim to be Jewish is legitimate. The land of Israel is located in Western Asia and borders on North Israel. It borders on North Africa. All of the native inhabitants of that region were non-white. When Spain expelled its Jews in 1492, many of them went to Africa. It seems probable that some of them were brought later to America as slaves. The spirituals never sing of African rivers. It's always the Jordan or the Red Sea.
Yep.
Why? I wonder why.
They don't sing about African chiefs or kings. It's David or Moses or some other Jewish characters from the Bible.
Israelite character, yep. So, you know, what the scriptures say, Romans 8:16, spirit bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the living power. This is why we as a people have a connection to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. They asked that devil, what was it, Sam Altman, if he believes in God or believes in the Most High. And he was just like,
They think they're God. They think they're knowledge. You came grunting and eating lice off your grandmother and your offspring's head.
Yep.
And now with a couple of razors and some brute cologne, you the hunk of the world.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. That right there show you there's a God.
Now check this out. Now what's ironic in this book, right? When you flip through it, you got the page, right? It says the Negroes and the Jews, right? That's her name, Lenora Burson. So when you flip through, she has a page in here before you actually start reading. What does this say here, Apostle Ron? She has this on this page. This is before you get into the book.
2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Genesis 25 and 23.
Yeah.
She has it sitting right there. This is before you even start reading the book.
Yeah.
Why is it she got that sitting right there?
Yeah, because they know. See, Esau knows, the higher ups know that they're Edomites.
Oh, yeah.
You know that, what was it? There was 2 individuals, Marion something, that had that interview, and Marion Knox, and there was another dude, and they one of them was saying that the Rothschilds sometimes claim to be Edomites, you know, Esau, and sometimes they claim to be Israelites, Judah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was an interview they were having. Elder Apostle Gabar speaks about it all the time. There was an actual interview. It was Marion Knox, I believe it was, and another individual that were speaking in the interview, and they were talking about how the Rothschilds sometimes claim the house of David, sometimes they claim the Edomites, because they know who they are. They know who we are. It's no coincidence that the so-called Latin tribes, out of all the so-called migrants that came down, the illegals that came to this so-called, you know, country, so-called illegally, the ones that are the biggest threats are the Latin tribes.
Yep.
Right.
You know, the ones that's building up, the ones that are doing all the menial jobs you don't want, they're the biggest threat. Never mind the so-called Arabs that you call to the terrorists. Right. Never mind these different, you know, Moabites and all these other nations coming through.
And they're the ones who produce the fat now.
They're not the threat. But the ones that are the threat are the ones that are doing the menial jobs that you don't want.
Remember, even when that C-19 came, remember it was a Kung flu? As a Chinese disease. Then next thing you know, the Negroes and Latinos are the main spreaders.
Yeah, then we're gonna let y'all go to the front of the line and get this thing because we care about you so much. You're the ones that are most in danger of us.
Yeah.
Wow.
The serpent and Mrs. Doubtfire or whatever that thing was sitting next to Bill Gates.
Oh my God.
I got a precept.
Yeah.
This is Psalms 137:1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remember Zion.
Yeah. And that's why Jake, you know, Judah, when they were brought over here, that's what they were singing. They were singing, the so-called Negro spirituals were all about Israel.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. And this is, you know, happening in ancient Babylon, but this is the modern day Babylon, and the same thing that happened. Verse 2, we hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof, for there they carried us away captive, required of us a song.
Right, and then what did they want here it is, you catching hell, being beat, you know, I mean, tied to a tree and whipped, because you don't pick cotton fast enough, and then just grew just in the most inhumane conditions you could possibly be. And at the end of the night, they want you to sing and dance for them, cook for them, sing and dance for them, make them feel good while you're in a fucked up condition.
Yep.
Like now, even now, all them so-called entertainers, they live their whole life on the road. They can't stop. Remember, they've been robbed, and you got a so-called Jew that's sitting over there, an Amalekite.
Yeah, they got
Getting all the
Amalekite
money.
lawyers that's robbing them, and they got Amalekite accountants that's taking your money, stashing your money away. They doing different shit with your account.
Stealing all your credit.
They're stealing your money.
Yeah,
stealing
with
your
those
money.
bills. Yeah, what the scriptures say, you know, or they even got a saying that the pen is mightier than the sword, but they give you those contracts, which ain't nothing but fucking enslavement contract.
Yeah, getting you hooked onto drugs.
Yep.
You know, framing you, making you, you know, put you in situations where you might be with an underage girl and videotape it. You don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know how old she was.
Mhm.
She was this age with this. Then they, now they blackmail you.
And they use
that's
against
it.
you.
That's
They use
it.
on you. That's the game. That's how they play.
More sexual, you know.
Yep.
No
Kitchen.
counters.
Yeah.
Get you
Compromise.
drugged up.
Yep. Have dogs and animals and horses do shit. They fall.
Well, yeah, it's like.
No, you got it.
Now, I was gonna say Kanye West. You know, when he was, you know, going against a small hat, so to speak, he was like, yeah, if you see me with a goat, you know, oh well. You know, basically he was saying, hey, there's a video out of me doing some stuff with a goat.
Yeah.
But F it. If you see me, it is what it is. So
Yeah.
he had to tap in with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
like,
make you
yeah.
do all these things.
Yeah.
You know?
He said hell with it.
That was a part of worshiping, you know, certain deities back then. You know, because they show you images and statues and pictures, paintings of like Edomite looking dudes popping goats.
Yeah.
That was on the Pompeii. What was that Mount Vesuvius?
When Mount Vesuvius erupted.
Yep, when they erupted on Pompeii, they say the archaeologists say when they excavated the land that they found all kind of zoophilia and homosexual fucking paintings and figurines on the wall.
Yeah.
That's why Lord destroyed.
Even when you go to like through the streets, they show a documentary where they show like rods and you know everything, you know, carved in stone and
It was freaks.
Some of them,
Phallic.
you know, because volcano, it will preserve things.
Yeah.
So they even also preserve motherfuckers in the act. Of
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
popping
yeah,
each other,
yeah.
popping
Yep.
little boys and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
they preserved it, so that was like they showed you what was going on.
Yeah, now the Lord had it for example.
they were asphyxiated. They lost, you know, the ash, you know, choked them. You know, and that was set up for today, you know, so just like Sodom and Gomorrah was set up today for those that should live that same ungodly lifestyle. But here it is, America pushes that lifestyle, abomination of the earth.
Yep.
So they got to go just on that point alone.
Yeah, this place is sick.
It says, "For they that carried us away captives required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth."
Yep, and that's Esau all the way. You see an example of that in what was that with Alex Haley, Roots. He said, "Yeah, boy." He said, "Sing me a song, boy." Who was it?
Fiddler.
It was Fiddler, and he had Fiddler playing on the fiddle. Play me one of them songs, boy.
That was Lou Gossett, right?
Yeah,
Gossett,
Lou Gossett played the part of Fiddler.
Yeah, the best one, all them things to watch is Goodbye Uncle Tom.
Oh yeah, Goodbye Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Extremely on point, and that was based off of slave laws.
That's the one that show you the little Jake boys, right, dressed like little girls.
Yep, yeah. They had the little girls twerking at a young age. They was on the pedophilia. They had the retarded dude raping the women, repopulating. That's why Jake came out retarded. That's where the term motherfucker comes. They used to have you screw your own mother.
Yep.
Yeah, Esau got a lot to pay for. Remember, they took Jake down and treated him as cattle. As you know, breeding them like as animals, like pit bulls or German shepherds.
Yep.
That's why you got a lot of retarded niggas out here.
Yeah. It says,
Ain't just the niggas. A lot of the women are straight retarded.
No, but I'm saying niggas all together, nigga. Whether it be male or female.
That's it.
It says, "And they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of those songs of Zion. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning.
That's it.
If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy."
Yeah, they even and said, look, that remembrance. They even had a deaf that they have in the newspaper that was writing Lashwan Kodash. a Jake, a little Negro boy, writing in that.
In Hartford,
Hartford. It was
Hartford.
and they know that. Yeah, hey, even when there's places over there in Fort Judah, Fort Benjamin, where you had the ancient Paleo Hebrew engraved in certain places.
Oh, there was another one. There was one. He was from North Carolina. He came off the slave ship, speaking Hebrew, and I think his name was Billy. They used to call him Uncle Billy. In North Carolina, he would wear like a top hat and walk through the streets carrying newspapers, selling newspapers. And they said he was they said something in the newspaper article that he was the biggest blackish Jew that they've ever seen.
Mm.
And he used to go to the synagogue, but he came off the slave ship reading, writing, and speaking Hebrew. His name, they used to call him Uncle Billy, and he was in North Carolina. He said that he was from Madagascar. Madagascar is on the eastern side of Africa. The Indian Ocean, Madagascar is right there.
Is that
the Indian Ocean, and then you got the east coast of Africa. So Madagascar, because there was plantations over there, but he said he was from Madagascar, and he said he's from a tribe known as the Rechabites. The Rechabites is mentioned in the scriptures, in the house of Rechab.
Yep.
He said I'm a Rechabite. I'm from the tribe of the Rechabites. And he was in North Carolina. They had it in a old newspaper article. You got to search it out. Probably in the Library of Congress.
And there's
I think his name was Billy. They call him Uncle Billy. His name might have been Billy Madison or something like that.
And they have that. And that means the Lord will throw you gems like that to help build up your faith.
Yeah.
But Esau know that. That's Psalms 83 where they hide it.
Yeah.
And just even the fourth, that page you pulled up where the elders shall serve the younger,
Yep.
and the younger shall be stronger than the elder. You look at everything from spiritually, physically, sports, academics, inventions.
Well,
we're stronger than them.
Inventions. You talking about that was the 1840s, 50s, 60s, 70s. That's basically the 19th century. It was because of Jake in the 19th century. All of them Jake inventors from the 19th century, they're the ones that gave you all of this. You stole the technology from Jake. You stole it from Jake. One Jake who's never mentioned and prominent, where it basically, if you want to say the genesis of robotics goes back to, right, is Elijah McCoy. Elijah McCoy, where you get the term the real McCoy.
Yep.
And his family, when he was a little boy, they seen that he had a knack for fixing things on the farm that they lived on. So they sent him off, I think, to a college somewhere, I think in Ireland, to become an engineer. Then he came back, tried to get a job, and he couldn't because of Esau's racism and all that. Then he started working for the railroad. And while he was working for the railroad, he noticed how they would have to stop every so few miles, and they would have to re-grease the bearings of the train. And then, because it would get so hot that the bearings would seize up on it. So you have to stop, grease them. Then the train could go for a little while. Then they got to stop again. So he invented this unit that's attached to the train that keeps that bearing grease in there to keep it constantly lubricated while the train is moving. So the train didn't have to stop. The train could just keep going. And then Edom, basically, they didn't want to credit him for it. So they started trying to copy his invention, and the shits kept breaking down. And then they started requesting, we need to get the real McCoy.
Yep.
That's where the term the real McCoy goes back to. Goes back to Elijah McCoy.
Hell, even the patent for the wrench was who?
That's Jack Johnson, the monkey wrench.
That's how they call it, the monkey wrench.
And they called it the monkey wrench because they was basically making fun of Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson was not only did he beat your ass, not only did he give it to your woman the long way, he also invented a wrench to fix the race cars that he was driving. Jack Johnson's the definition of I don't give a fuck.
Well, they said there lies a real man.
Yeah. Jack Johnson walk around with his 6 shooters on him, dare you to run up on him.
Yeah.
And he lived in a white neighborhood with his white woman in a white neighborhood.
Yeah.
And a lot of them women he dealt with, they was probably Jakes anyway. A lot of them were Irish and Scottish women anyway.
Yeah, they said that like when he would speed and the cop would pull him over, they'll give him a ticket and he'll
For
say
$50, they didn't have change. So he said, well, here's 100 because I'm going to come speeding right back again. So I'm paying you for right now and I'm paying you for when I come back. that was Jack Johnson.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And you know them Edomites put that in their pocket.
Well, the inventor of the internet, Philip Emeagwali, Nigerian.
Yep, Nigerian.
You have Mark Dean with the micro invented that. What we use the computers today,
Mhm.
that's Jake. You know,
Yeah.
so
It's
it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
No,
All the tribes.
the video game, the video game, the cartridge, the control, and all that. It was Jake. What the History Channel did a thing about the evolution of the video game.
Yeah.
And really, you talking about the modern day console where you put the cartridge inside of it and all that. Jake invented that.
Hey, even their bridge work and their structural work, they said God because their balance was impeccable. They tell you that. Yeah.
Because they used to build the skeletons on
The
high
brick.
rise.
Yeah, yep, they were back.
Hey, you know, speaking of Philip Emeagwali, he got the idea for the internet, looking at the beehive.
Bees, how they communicate in the beehive. So his algorithm was based off of bees communicating with each other in the beehive.
What they call a network.
Yeah.
And that was basically that's the internet.
That's it.
It's a network.
That's
Yeah,
right.
because it's interconnection with everybody. So the Lord allowed them to get that technology to fulfill prophecy dealing with the MOTB,
The internet.
the internet. Yep.
The cell phone. Jake invented everything. I can't think of the guy's name, but it's a Jake that they don't give the credit for that. Even with the airplane, there was something that I had recently seen. There was a Jake who he entered a contest. He built the plane, and he was going to a fair to go show his invention at this fair. And he shipped it on the train to get there. He gets there, and his plane is not there because Esau stole it.
Damn.
And he died penniless and broke, just like all Jake's.
Hey,
Of course, the two little faggots at Kitty Hawk get the credit for the plane, but there's also a brother that's not talked about in Brazil who did the first public flight of an airplane was done in Brazil by a Jake in Brazil.
Wow.
I can't think of his name though, but they don't speak about him. He doesn't get
of
no
course.
credit. It's a Jake in Brazil. A public flight with an airplane was done in Brazil, but the two little homosexuals at Kitty Hawk are the ones that get the credit for it.
Well, they tell you they went to the moon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but you know what's heavy though? Even George Washington Carver, when he did all that stuff with the peanuts and all that stuff, they got a good story. They said, "How did you find out all this stuff?" He said, "The Bible. I prayed to the man who created the peanut to open up my mind and tell me what it could do." Show you that he's a man of faith. That is Jake, man. Yeah, he told me. He said it before the federal court or the congressional hearing or something. When they asked him, "How did he get all that knowledge?" He said, "I prayed to the guy who made the peanut."
And matter of fact, the guy you're talking about, George Washington Carver, he was good friends with Henry Ford. Henry Ford opened up his plant. He called it a plant based off of Washington Carver, of what he was doing with the peanut and using how would you say the oils from the different plants as lubrication for the engine for cars and things like that. That's why when he opened it up, he called it a plant. When he opened
Plant.
his plant.
Stuff for plants.
He opened his car plant.
Yep.
Because he was friends with George Washington Carver. He always used to talk and consult with him about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
That was his friend. That was Henry. That was one of his friends. That was one of his friends that he consulted with a lot.
Yep. There's a whole bunch of history out there, man. But that's knowledge increasing. And this is the Lord showing you how great of a people it is, because that's part of the people being stronger than the other.
Yep. And that's Jake. Jake is the one behind everything out there, all the technology out there. Jake is behind all of it, one way or another. Even let's go even to the movie world. Why do you think even because we're living in it right now? Basically, what we're living in right now. This is Rise of the Machines. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. When Skynet was put online, and what did Skynet do? It seek to destroy all of the humans. The machines were looking to kill all the humans off. The movie The Matrix, the same thing. When Morpheus sat Neo down and spoke to him after he woke him up and he was putting him up on things, he said that we know that it was us who scorched the sky because we knew that the machines were using solar power. So figured we scorched the sky with the nuclear bombs that would kill them. But then they figured another way. They figured that the human body creates such and such amount of BTUs and electricity, so they use humans to power the machines instead of the solar.
Yep.
So the humans were used as a what? He said to turn you to what? A copper top,
Okay.
a battery, and that's what we are. Technically, that's what we are. You a plant runs what? 3 shifts: 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. One battery dies out after 8 hours, another battery gets plugged in for another 8 hours. After 8 hours, that battery got to go and recharge, another battery gets plugged in. Where the batteries that's plugged into the machine.
Yep, but the Lord's our battery, and He powered us with these scriptures. Yeah, I precept for you.
Go right ahead.
This is Proverbs 15:28. It said, "The heart of the righteous studieth the answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things." That right there just summed up everything the Spirit had on from the apostles, elders, and brothers going through. Is what? Study the answer, so you can tell them, "Hey, look, this is how great your people are." Because this system, with their lies, told you that you wasn't nothing. You ain't worth nothing. You ain't never been nothing, won't be nothing. Even as an Issacharite on the internet, he said, "Look, I come from the tribe of Issachar." He's all tatted up, bald head. He said, "But they always tell us about the time when they came here, but they never tell us about the time when we come before we got over here."
Right.
You know, which that's what in the Apocrypha, the book of Ezra, is where it tell you that the 10 tribes came over here.
Yep.
Tell you the time period, how long it got here.
Yep.
But he brought it out. And then the evil things that's being poured out is them saying that they did everything. They're the real Jews. They're the real Israelites. You're nothing.
Mhm.
That's one of the biggest capers of all time, is them taking our identity. Now they got, every time you turn on the TV, protect your identity. You already stole our identity.
You already stole it.
So it said, I'll read that again for y'all one more time. Proverbs 15:28. It said, "The heart of the righteous studieth the answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things."
Right. The mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. And that's you, the so-called white man. You poured out nothing but evil things, because basically the game is, you figured that in order for you to keep ruling, you got to hide the identity of the true people of the Lord. That way we never wake up, so we can never cry unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, to deliver us. Therefore we stay in this lower state, and you're able to rule forever.
Yeah,
That's the game. That's the trick. That's the game.
That's what the Lord said. There shall be shameful spewing on your glory. That's part of it. You being revealed. So,
Yep.
start wrapping it up. If
Okay.
Best brother got any other precepts or points?
I read one more.
Yeah, bring it up. You have some looking up. You have something else, Taz?
No, that was pretty
So I
good.
got one more for us before we wrap up. This is
you got?
Proverbs 28:5. It says, "Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things."
Right, and that goes into prophecy.
Prophecy. There you go.
You know, because so this shows you the importance of prophecy. Evil men don't understand. In Daniel 12, it says that the wicked shall not understand,
That's right.
but the righteous shall understand.
That's right.
And that's why you have many Israelites that are trying to get this truth and they can't get it.
Nope. Because
Right,
the Lord blocked them from it. Because those of you that can't get it, you know what you are? You're enemies of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
It goes back to let his blood be on us and our children. And the Most High is holding it to your ass. And you're going to get dragged all the way.
Through the mud.
You're going to get dragged all the way. Just like you dragged the prophets, just like you beat and you ridiculed, you made fun of, you tortured the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
That same torture is going to come upon your ass in this day and time. It's going to come on you like,
But
Yeah.
that's also filling Psalm 69, where the Lord said, "Let their table
Yeah, the snare.
snare and their eyes be darkened, their spiritual eyes. They can't see
Yeah.
what's going on."
And this is what's going to save your soul.
That's it. So at least they be healed.
That's it. You got it, Taz.
So with that, we like to give all honor, praise, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash.
We're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.
Kum Yashala.
Kum Yashala.
Kum Yashala.
Kum Yashala.
Kum Yashala.
Kum Yashala.
And Tawab La Allah.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.